Squat 66. Hello. New little format here. And give it a try. So I'm going to see if I can do a video start to finish with no cuts at all. That's even better, right, than doing the one pack no edits. This is going to be like multiple packs, no edits, and we'll see if it works. So the video I wanted to do here is the one that people were kind of asking about a little bit with. So with the NBD 0702 motor, so those are the 0702 with double ball bearings, I gave them a pretty good review, mainly based on how smooth they were. I absolutely love flying these motors because they are smooth and the quad sounds great, it flies really well. But the question people had was, what is the efficiency? What's the efficiency on it? Are you going to get the flight time? Can you use it to race and things like that? And so to do that, I want to compare it with another quad here. And this has the Happy model motor. So these are 0702. Similarly, and these are the older version, like the old Tiny Whoop and We Bleed FPV onesies and things like that. But I don't think there's any huge efficiency difference between these versions and the current versions. But anyways, similar KV. I think this is a nice comparison motor that I think probably a lot of people are familiar with. And so what we're going to do is, the reason I was waiting on efficiency is because I needed these to come in. I got some new NBD Nitro Nectars. These are 250. They are PH2, which I'm going to be looking at that in another video, looking at PH2 versus BT2. But right now, we're going to do the 250s with the PH2 connector. I put fresh connectors on these, so that's not a factor. There is going to be a difference here between the boards. The NBD quad is built up with the 8-beta FPV crossboard versus the Happy model motors are on a flywheel board. But I never noticed that the flywheel board was like a ringer in terms of efficiency. I had that one TuneRC 1S board, which was like, wow, this thing's just more efficient than other boards, even versus another TuneRC board. But between these, I never noticed any dramatic differences. I don't think that's a huge factor. But I want to kind of show you a little bit of real world flying these around and showing you what the efficiency difference looks like. So we're going to start with the Happy model because that's going to give us our little baseline here. And so I'm going to try and make these as similar as possible. Try is an important word here because you're flying, stuff happens. All right, so let's go over here, get this plugged in, see if I can go ahead and flip this over to showing you some quad stuff. Why is the battery not full? I just charged this battery. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, let me pull that battery out. Let's get another battery in here. This one's going to be full, I promise you, and if it's not, then I've got some kind of bigger problem going on. All right. How's that? Yes. Okay, we're in business. Let's move this stuff to the side here. Sorry about any little noise with me moving stuff around. What I'm going to try and do is make these flights as similar as possible. But as I said, that might be easier said than done. So starting on Happy model motors, I'm going to idle here for 5 seconds. And then I'm going to take off and hover. So we're going to hover here a little bit and 4.04. Let's go ahead and fly this now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fly for 2 minutes, and I'm doing kind of a standardized flight here. This isn't my usual sort of track, but it's one that I feel like I can keep the quad going at a good clip without hitting stuff. It's not too tight and technical, and I feel like I can just get a more standard flight. So I'm going to fly it for 2 minutes, and we'll hover again, and then we're going to fly it until we get low battery warning, and then I'm going to land it. And we'll call that a flight, and we'll check the voltages. And we'll see what we do on voltages, and we'll see what we do on flight time, and get you a little bit of a perspective on real-world efficiency. Thrust stand would be nice. I think that'd be a little bit more controlled. But it doesn't always tell you sort of what that means in the real world. So there is thrust stand data. I think it is the gold standard in terms of getting nice consistent data, but it doesn't necessarily tell you how that translates into differences when you're actually flying the quad, because you're going to use different parts of the throttle band, things like that. So where are we at? We're at 1:30. So I got to start paying attention to my clock here. And as I said, 2 minutes, we're going to try and hover. We'll hover for 10 seconds, and then, well, maybe 5. 10 seconds would be pretty boring. We'll hover for 5 seconds, and then see where we're at. So 1:55. Okay. So let's do 5 seconds hover. So 3:50, 3.52, 3. Okay. Let's go fly it out now. So that was like 3.52, I think. 3.53 I was seeing. Just keep flying this down. Let's see what we do for flight time. So this is looking pretty good here with the Happy model. I think it's going to be pretty easy to get 3 minutes, which is a nice flight time out of a little 250 pack. And to me, I just prefer the way these quads fly on these smaller 250 packs. So 3 minutes, still doing all right. So it's a pretty good flight time. So for me, brand new batteries, and there goes low battery. 3.3, yeah, we'll call it. And let's see what that brought us down at. 3.56 and 3 minutes 14 seconds. So we're rebounding all the way up to 3.57. 3 minutes 14 seconds. All right. Let's switch out this battery. And now we're going to go to the Neutron motors. So these are going to be motors I really like to fly, but we're going to see what the flight time looks like here. All right. Let's go ahead and idle this. Let's idle it for 5 seconds. And we'll get up in the air. Okay. So 4.02, 4.0, and 10 seconds. All right, let's go ahead and fly this. Oh, by the way, this you might not be getting great reception here. This VTX on this quad, I've got it. It's not putting out the channel it's supposed to. I need to change out this VTX. So I've got it set at like Racer Band 8, and it's putting out Fat Shark 7 or close to it. So if the video looks terrible, it's partially my little. So I got this little SkyDroid thing. It's Ciati. So he did his recent video, and I think somebody asked, like, how are you streaming this when you do the little flute flying? So he said, yeah, I just use a SkyDroid. And I'm like, that is what I want. I want that because I want the least like video processing and editing. And what I want to do is be able to just record it, audio, video, straight onto my laptop and not mess with stuff and be able to like, it's all, I mean, basically it's kind of like streaming, like where I can just record it and it's done. Like, sure, I'm going to process it a little bit, get the sound levels right and things in Resolve, but I was kind of excited about this. I'm sure I could get better video quality on a better video receiver, but I mean, that's so easy. All right, so I'm getting close here to 2 minutes. So let's kind of bring it here and hover. So 3.50, 3.49, so a little bit lower. Let's go ahead and fly that. So not terribly different. So I think that was like 3.53 versus 3.50. So it's a difference. Let's see what it means in flight time, because that's going to be the next big question here. So voltage, you're definitely giving up a little bit. Well, I shouldn't say definitely. Come on, this is 2 batteries, 1 battery each. So I wouldn't call that any kind of like conclusive sort of thing. I'm starting to hit low battery. Look at that. That's earlier though. 245. Ooh, that's getting low. See where it recovers. 3.51. So fine with the battery, but 249. So that's a 20-second difference, because that's 250. So it's close to 3, but not quite 3. Okay, so that's a pretty big difference. Let's switch this out. Now I'm going to do same quad. So I'm going to go NBD motors. And now I'm going to go a 300 battery, but this is an old 300. So do not get excited about flight time here. This is going to be a little underwhelming on an old battery. So yeah, again, we're doing the NBD 0702s. And let's go ahead and idle that. So we'll idle it for 5 seconds. Okay, get it up in the air. Hover here, 4.0. And let's go ahead and fly that. I wonder how this audio is. So I've got 2 different mics going. I've got this little Purple Panda, little lavalier mic that I'm using to try and pick up my voice, and then I've got a snowball mic. Hopefully that picks up a little bit more of the background stuff, and maybe we get a nice balance between hearing the narration and hearing how the quads sound when they fly. But I don't know if you can hear that. To me, this just sounds really nice. Like it's just a clean sounding quad. And I guess I'm hearing a little bit of bearing noise now. Whoa. I need to pay attention when I'm doing flying. I think I'm starting to hear some more bearing noise. Now that I'm really paying attention to it, that I didn't necessarily hear when these were brand new. It's not bad. But what I can still hear very well is like, let's see if I can bring it up. That sort of, you hear that? That like sort of, it's just motors, I think it's that yaw that just brings it out. Alright, so let's see. We're at 2 minutes and we're at 3.50. 2 minutes, 3.50. Alright, let's fly this out. And let's see where we can get to before we get low battery warning. So again, this is a 300 battery. This is NBD 0702 bearing motors. And this is an old 300 pack. So what you're going to see here is we're going to hit that like landing warning pretty early. And then the battery is going to probably have quite a bit more bump up after we land it. It's going to recover more. This is what happens when batteries are old. They just sag more easily. I thought I saw a flash there. I'm going to push it a little further. I'm going to push it to 3 minutes. Alright, I think we're legitimately hitting low battery, 3 minutes. Let's see where that recovers to. So 305, and we're going to recover to 3.57. So newbie drone, 3.57 on the old 300. Okay. Now, last battery, we're going to do, again, a 300. Now we're going back to the Happy Model motors. Let's get this in here. So again, this is going to be an old 300. So don't expect anything amazing in terms of flight time. But make sure we're still recording over here. Yep, that looks like it's still going well. All right, so let's go ahead. What was that noise? Something, and something I don't see what it is. Push all the wires out of the way. Make sure the wires are out of the way. Well, hopefully that works its way out. Nope, that's not going to work its way out. What is that? I'm going to unplug that. I do not see. What is it hitting? Oh, it's hitting. What are you hitting? Found it. That's what I'm hitting. All right, so I'm just going to take this straight off, and hopefully we didn't mess up our results too badly with that little. There we go. All right, so what are we doing when we're hovering here? 3.96. A little lower. All right. So we're at 10 seconds. Let's go ahead and fly that. Oh. I'm not sure if you can hear the difference, but to me this is, I don't know, it's less pleasant. It's not bad. I mean, these things, these little 0702s, they're not bad. They're not going to be, like, really egregiously obnoxious or anything. But, I don't know, I'm, like, trying to rationalize. It's like, how do you rationalize? That was a pretty big difference on the 250 battery in terms of efficiency. But I like flying those motors. You know, which is, it's good. It's good that it's that way because it's like, you just have to make choices. Like, you know, if the one motor was better in every way, it'd be sort of like, it'd be the obvious choice, but also it'd sort of make it a little boring of like, you know, you just, okay, just take that motor, just use that one, it's better in every way. But in this case, I think, at least what we saw in the 250, and also, honestly, like, spoiler alert, I think this is what I sort of felt with some other batteries as well, that, you know, the new drone motors just aren't as efficient. And it might be enough to where if you're trying to make flight time, for whatever reason, if there's something about racing, and I'm not, honestly, I don't race, so I race other stuff. I don't race whoops. I actually race 10 scale off-road cars and on-road cars and stuff like that. So I'm familiar with racing. And if you remember from back in the day before LiPos came out, how making runtime was a huge issue, and it's not anymore. I totally flew right past shoots. Supposed to hover at 2 minutes and see what it was. Well, we're going to do this just on flight time then. Anyway, so here we are at 244, right? And this one was kind of funny. This battery seemed like it was, the voltage was a little worse off the start. So I feel like this is actually a weaker battery. But now that we're down at the further into the run, I don't know, maybe we're not going to see a huge difference here. Starting to get into low battery. Can you call that? I think I'm going to call that clearly low battery. So we went 3.324 and we bumped back up to 3.57. So that was more similar than different, but I kind of messed around there with the batteries in the beginning. So what do we do? How do we break that tie? I don't know if I have a good answer for how do you break that tie. What do you do? How do you make that decision? How do you declare a winner out of that? I think the answer is obviously fly more batteries, but I'm going to do it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge up some more batteries. I'm not necessarily going to show you the flights, but I'm going to pay more because I'm not going to be trying talking and things like that. I'm going to fly another set of those batteries comparing the old Happy Model motors, sort of the gold standard I think everybody's familiar with, to the new drone bearing motors. And I'm going to put that information down in the description. So I'll put in there like, hey, I confirmed that in fact I'm getting like 20 seconds less flight time in a newbie drone versus the Happy Model. Because I think that's kind of what's happening. I think messing around with the 300s might have been a difference where we didn't see the Happy Model looking all that much more efficient. Or something. Maybe I don't get that result. So check the description below and see if I confirmed it or not. But I think at the end of the day, what I feel like I think I'm seeing is that the new drone motors, although I love flying them, I think they really aren't necessarily as efficient. And so you got to make some trade-offs. They are a little heavier, but they fly super smooth, maybe a little bit less efficiency. All right. Till next time. Cheers.